Hello, and welcome to episode number 1 of Tech Stuffing, where we talk about technology, video games, and other cool things we find. I'm Jarrett, your host, and joining me today all the way from the West Coast is our video game enthusiast, Chris.
Hello.
I really like that intro music, man. I think that fits perfect.
I concur.
Yeah. So what's up, man? How you been?
Good. How's your day going?
It's going fine. I had did a little housework, that kind of thing. Nothing too.
I understand.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. All right. Well, I guess we get into what we're actually going to talk about today.
And what's on the bullet board?
Yeah, so it looks like we got a little bit of Elon Musk news. We got to talk about some net neutrality and maybe some AMD news, I think, and then we'll head over to E3, and our coverage will be very thorough and extensive. We have a lot to talk about there. So, all right, yeah. So let's get through. See what Elon Musk is up to. So if you've ordered your flamethrower, you can pick it up now, which is awesome.
How much did they go for?
I don't remember. I think they were a lot of money. Why do I think they were like $500? I don't remember. I'm gonna Google it right now though. Elon.
That's still crazy. He just does whatever he wants.
I'm telling you, man, he's like an evil villain that also tries to do good. Let's see. It was $500. Yeah, I was right. All right. I think.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, $500. So yeah, you can pick them up. I guess they're having people pick these things up in certain places because they were running into issues with shipping them.
I know certain states were not too happy. Like I know California was definitely not happy about it.
Yeah, that's one of the states.
Worst droughts, and then the fires, and now you're giving people flamethrowers. This is not a recipe for good things.
Yeah, I think that was one of the states where you had to go and pick it up. They made it like a party. Like they had like a band playing. You got like a wristband. You showed up. You could like walk around and try it. Try the flamethrower, and they taught you how to use it, and then you go pick it up, and that was the thing. But
at least they made sure you know how to use it before they just randomly handing them out willy nilly. Like,
yeah,
I just get to see the news. It's like, well, how did this fire start? Was it natural causes? No, I think we had an idiot with a flamethrower out there this weekend.
To see somebody like pointing it at their face or something, trying to get it to ignite, just burning their eyebrows off. I don't know. Yeah. I kind of want one. If I had $500, I think I probably would have ordered one.
Bet you can dual wield them,
which would be twice as cool as one.
Yes.
So apparently you can also just make these with off-the-shelf parts from like a Home Depot or a Lowe's.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
It doesn't look as cool. It doesn't say the Boring Company on it. But I don't know. Let's see. Oh, yes. Elon Musk is in the news again with his whole Chicago thing. So apparently the mayor of Chicago has selected Elon Musk to bring his tunneling venture to design, build, and operate a rapid transit link between the O'Hare International Airport and the city's central business district, which is pretty interesting. Elon Musk hates traffic. We all know that. But this
who doesn't hate traffic?
So there's a little bit of scrutiny about the cost, though. So he's saying that it's going to cost $1 billion. Less than $1 billion, which seems like a lot. However, a lot of civil engineers and infrastructure executives are saying that it's going to cost way more than that. But we'll see. It is Elon Musk, so he's not afraid to throw money at a problem.
Well, I think the arguing point they were making was they're using past models of boring tunnels, and the cost for those was a certain amount, and he's saying he can do it for much cheaper. And they're like, well, according to this, it costs this much per mile.
Yeah, we'll see. I hope it works out. I'd come to my city because Anybody on the East Coast who lives in Virginia who drives up and down I-95 on a daily basis will know my pain. But yeah, I love his quote here: to solve the problem of soul-destroying traffic. Yeah,
Yes, it is. Like, just sitting in traffic is probably one of the most painful things that you could experience.
yes, I agree 100%. That's why autonomous cars and his tunnels, I am all for.
Here was the thing I was reading. It says when they're doing like a Second Avenue subway in New York, it costs them about $2.5 billion per mile. Line extension 14 in Paris ran about $450 per mile. But the Boring Company claims it can dig about 18 miles of tunnels for a fraction of those prices. But they don't really say how.
Yeah, I could be completely wrong about this, but I think they are or have developed their own kind of boring machine.
Well,
know,
he's been
right?
working on this concept for a while. Like, this
Right,
is
with the
not a
Hyperloop
new concept for him. Well, because he's complained about traffic in LA, and he said he wanted to build a tunnel system under there as well.
Yeah, I say go for it. Hopefully it works out.
Yeah, it's refreshing having somebody just because the interesting thing too is Chicago is not paying for it at all. You know, it's all Elon Musk. He's just, yeah, sure, I'm gonna go throw money at something and see if it works.
Yeah, that's fine with me. Throw all kinds of money at it, just like SpaceX. Just throw money at it. Hopefully it'll work. I'm sure it will. I think there was one more point that I wanted to talk about, but I can't remember. Oh well.
The one, it says there was a direct quote. It says, "Because if we succeed, it's going to be a great thing for the city, and if we fail, well, I guess me and others lose a bunch of money."
Yeah, so essentially it's a win-win for the city and everyone else that has to be involved in it. I mean,
Yeah,
if it doesn't work, then you're just back to your daily life. But if it does work, you save time and
you're
money
the
and
coolest kids
frustration.
in America. It's like, I got a tunnel system underneath my city. What do you got? Subway?
Yeah, subways are boring. Tunnel systems with hyperloops and self-automated cars are way better.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm trying to let's see. Yeah, the Chicago system is supposed to be able to handle nearly 2,000 passengers per direction per hour, with cars leaving every 30 seconds to 2 minutes. Yeah, that's cool. By comparison, New York's Metropolitan Transportation Authority can squeeze about 2,000 people on a single subway train. Interesting.
Yeah, I hope he succeeds, and I will root for him.
Yeah, me too. On a lighter note / not so light, net neutrality is dead, so that sucks.
Yeah, but
on June. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So on June 11th, no more net neutrality. It is officially dead. This is a huge loss for essentially everybody except the giant corporations who want to charge us money for stuff. So if you guys don't know what neutrality was, it was kind of like essentially we're treating the internet traffic as a public utility. So fair access to everything for everybody. So a company could not charge you more money to have access to certain websites like Netflix or Hulu, or a premium fee to have faster traffic than other people. Now that that's gone, they are able to essentially had possible like tiered prices for performance, or let's say, hey, I want Netflix. Well, that's fine, you can have that, but we're going to charge you $10 more to allow you access to that. Hopefully none of that happens, because competition should keep some of that away, or at least on the level. But we'll see.
A lot of the bigger companies have already said that they aren't going to, but we all know how that works. It's money. They can make more money. They're going to swing to it eventually. The matter really is when and how, because the European model, they lost their net neutrality, and they're now like almost like package deals for cable companies. You could get, here's email, general internet, and we'll throw in Netflix into Hulu, or $30 a month for the first year, and then it goes up to 40.
Right.
The next year comes around, and then it's like, oh well, that deal expired. We'll give you this one now for a year.
Yeah, it's not good. But there are certain groups that are trying to push back.
Certain states have already passed laws.
Right.
I happen to be lucky enough to reside in one of those.
Yes. Yeah, Washington and state and Oregon have already passed legislation that mirrors the net neutrality rules before it was canceled. I think
Differing.
California's working on it though.
Yeah, Washington's stricter than Oregon. Or in Oregon, we have basically it's, I believe, along the lines that if you are an ISP and you want to provide internet to any state building, government-owned facility, not only do you have to make all your if you have any bandwidth reductions, anything along any of those lines, you have to make it known. So then it becomes public knowledge, and everybody could see what the ISP is doing, because they don't necessarily have to right now tell you if they say they can literally be contacted by Netflix, and Netflix could be like, hey, we'll give you $100 a year, and then everybody on your network gets throttled if they go to Hulu. All that would have to be public knowledge, basically, is how they're trying to protect our internet.
I say go for it.
Yeah.
I guess there's, let's see, 29 states and over 65 bills have also been introduced since the Pally rules were presented in December. So governors in 6 states, including Hawaii, Rhode Island, Vermont, have signed executive orders to ban any service provider from operating in those states if they refuse to abide by the 2015 rules. So this is all good. However, we'll see. I'm sure the federal government will push back on these states, but I don't know.
I feel like nobody wanted net neutrality to go away. Why was this, happening?
Yeah, I don't know. I hope it just kind of, I don't want to say blow over, but I hope nothing changes.
That's what they say will happen. I guess we'll find out here in the next 2 years.
Yeah. So what can we do?
What can we do?
I don't know. Call your senator. Complain. That's what you can do.
Write a letter.
Yes, write letters, call, email, do what you have to do. But hopefully nothing will change. So, all right. So, oh yes, here's some more big news. So Computex, as many of you know or don't know, was at the beginning of the month. This is essentially a giant PC manufacturing or PC hardware expose. So a lot of cool stuff was introduced there. Specifically, AMD's 32-core processor, which is awesome. Yes, that's right. 32 cores, 64 threads. Super cool. So it's essentially AMD's Threadripper line, but they're stepping it up a bit.
Is that overkill?
So it uses no. You can never have enough cores. So essentially, it uses the Zen Plus architecture, which is what they use for their Ryzen 2 series. It uses the 12 nanometer manufacturing process, which essentially reduces power consumption compared to the 14 nanometer. However, it does use a crap ton more power than their last gen, because it does have more cores, but it uses up to 250 watts, which is a lot. So that means that some of the first gen X399 boards may not be able to deliver enough power to run these.
Yeah,
but if you're going to spend the money on a 32 core, you could probably fork out a couple other $100 for a motherboard that'll support it.
And maybe, a power supply.
Yeah, and a power supply. But yeah, so I'm not 100% sure on the price. I don't even know if they came out with it, but I can imagine it's going to be in line with their original Threadripper, even though it's more. So I don't know, between $400 and $600 for this CPU. I think they've also introduced, I think it was a 32 core, and they're also thinking about a smaller version. Was it 28 core or something? I don't remember. 32 cores is better. Do it. I think the Cinebench score, I could be wrong. I don't know if they actually posted an actual Cinebench score, but I heard in the upper 7,800 range, so almost 8,000, which is extremely impressive. So for reference, my crappy i7 laptop Cinebench score is about 500. So It's way better than that.
Slightly, just slightly.
Yeah, just slightly. So if you do a lot of multitasking, this could be your CPU. Go for it. In response to this, Intel has came out, I think around the same time, same day maybe. Anyway, same week. They demoed their 28 core CPU at Computex.
But that's 4 less than AMD. Why would I want something like that?
I don't know, because it's Intel. So
Sure.
there's a lot of fighting going back here. So Intel demoed their 28 core, but they didn't really say too much about it, other than it's running at 5 gigahertz. But they got it to run at that 5 gigahertz with a kind of a very custom water cooling loop they had hooked up to it. So it's not essentially a production model CPU as of yet.
Very custom water cooling.
Yeah. If you go and look at the images of it, it's got like two giant tubes coming out of the back of the PC. I mean, it's impressive, but if they can get this, if they can get the CPU to run at 5 gigahertz reliably for the commercial or enthusiast market, that'd be awesome. Intel's always had better single core performance than AMD, which a lot of applications still use. So if you're just doing I can't think of any way. This is crazy to use. I don't know. If you're doing a lot of gaming and streaming, I mean, this might be your deal. Who knows? It's supposed Cinebench score at Computex was 7,300. So slower than what I think I've heard for the AMD. But that makes sense because it's got less cores. So Cinebench is very good at measuring multi-core performance. Me, I don't know. If I had the money, I probably wouldn't buy either of these because I think they're overkill for me. But I'm also not rendering videos constantly.
Yeah, I'm sure there's uses out there. Yeah.
I mean, if I had the money, why not? I mean, shoot. But
yeah,
$600 for a CPU is, I don't know. I could buy a GTX 1080 for that.
The wattage was a surprising thing for me. I'm used to video cards getting up there requiring a lot of power. I didn't think, the processors are draining that much power now.
Oh, yeah. The big ones are these 32. I mean, my laptop i7 only uses about 45 watts.
Which is more in ballpark what I thought. And you're like, it's 250. Yeah. Like, good gosh.
Yeah, 250. So the old Threadripper used about 180 watt. But that had less cores. So, I don't know. Yeah, that's what. Yeah. There's some other cool things that came out of Computex too. There's some really cool cases. Freaking RGB everywhere. That seems to be a theme.
Yeah.
For PC. I think it's getting a little out of control. I mean, I like multicolor stuff as the next person, but I mean, they got RGB RAM. Yeah. They even have RGB power cables now. It's oh my god.
It's like when the younger crowd started wearing ripped pants. I'm like, okay.
That's a hell of an analogy, man.
I mean, I didn't think it would be that big of a thing, and then I saw it everywhere, which is kind of just what you just said. Like the red, blue, green, and that's cool with me, fun, but I didn't think it would be such a huge fad. But I guess that's a lot with streaming and stuff too.
Yeah, it does look cool if you set it up right. I mean, some of these guys, the RGB rigs that I see, everything's blinking and so fast in so many different freaking colors. It's going to give me a seizure to just watch it.
Yeah, that or I'm just going to be playing a game or something and be like, I'm not playing this game. I'm just going to watch my computer.
Right, exactly.
Look at all the flashy lights.
Yeah, just pick color, man. Just pick color. Yeah, the PC that I want to build, I don't think I have any RGB in it. It's all white. So, I don't know. To each their own.
Yes.
I mean, I guess it is kind of cool if you kind of program everything to work together. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Indeed. No, because I do have a buddy who set up for Overwatch, depending on what character he was playing, it would change his color settings, which was kind of neat.
That's kind of cool.
But yeah,
I guess.
I guess I just like a good fast computer that runs everything nicely. I don't need flashy light. I got a backlit keyboard. I can see it in the dark. That's all I need. I'm happy.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I did finally get one of those fancy gaming backlit keyboards the other day. I got a nice Corsair. I got a nice Corsair one. Yeah.
Oh, nice. But I don't. I like just the minimalistic, I guess would be the correct word. I don't like all
Yeah,
the
well,
extra buttons and everything. I'm just like nice, decent sized, small keyboard that has all the functionality that I need. I don't need 72 programmable buttons that just sit on the side of my keyboard that I never use because it takes too much effort to set these things up.
yeah, it's only got 6 extra buttons. I
And
mean,
how
it's
many
not
have
that
you set
many.
up?
None of them.
Exactly.
Because
Because I know I
the
would do the
reason,
same thing. I wouldn't set them up, and I just have these fancy buttons, and they're like, and I could show it to people. I was like, look, all these extra buttons I have, and hope they don't ask me
uh,
that question. Well, what do you have them do? I'm working on
well,
that.
it adds FPS to your games the more fancy
Oh,
buttons you
I
have.
forgot about that. You are
Yeah,
correct.
it's like the flame stickers on a car.
Adds more
Yeah.
horsepower.
Now, the real reason I got this keyboard was because it's a mechanical keyboard, and I really like the mechanical keyboard feel.
Yeah, I know
That's
people.
the real
Yeah,
reason I got it. I like the real tactile clicking feel that it gives you. That's the
yes,
real reason I got it.
I've heard a lot of people say that as well.
Yeah.
But I think we
I
got a
mean, the
little off
cool.
topic here.
Yeah, we might have. All right, enough with the keyboards.
Yes.
Speaking of keyboards, let's talk about gaming. So we're gonna switch over to E3 now. So a lot of awesome stuff has come out of E3 this year.
Yay.
Um, so I guess I think how we're gonna do this is just kind of start with some games, go down. We'll talk about EA and then maybe Microsoft, and yeah, we'll go from there. We'll see how much time we got. All right, what you got for me?
First one, of course, it's a new battle royale because Fortnite has in player battlegrounds unknown has literally changed every first-person shooter to needing to be a battle royale out there. But this one does seem interesting. It will be early access in the summer on Steam, and consoles are planning in 2019. It's called Fear the Wolves. Basically, it's your classic 100-player battle royale game. 100 people drop in. This one seems different because it has a lot of environmental dangers. While as like Fortnite, it's just you against the other people and you're building stuff. This is more built around it's like a radioactive wasteland type situation. Right now, they have wolves is the main mutant, as they call it, or a hostile force. Well, necessarily may not kill you, but you'll have to waste ammo. You'll be out of position. It's a problem that will change how you play because you don't want to run into it, but then you can also use that against your enemies. Like you got the wolves on him, and he's sitting in a building or something or hiding. You can just run past him, and the wolves will key in on him or something. So it gives
Uh,
you different options that way. The second thing is the radioactivity where certain areas are just going to be radioactive, which is dangerous to you if you go into it without proper protection. Just like the other battle royales, you get items from just exploring, broken down buildings, wherever you can find it. You can win 2 ways, apparently. One is you can just kill everyone, classic, or you can escape on a helicopter that shows up. But the thing is, there's only 1 seat, so it's going to be a very contested spot. But it's still early. There's not a lot of more particular details, but it has a neat concepts.
yeah, so essentially it's a battle royale, but you also have to survive the environment, not just the other players.
Yes, and I
So
don't know if I've seen one like that. A lot of them are coming out. They're just taking whatever guns and stuff they already have in the environment and vehicles and games that they have, and then they just put you there and go, okay, fight. Last one alive. Um, Fortnite's been changing stuff with some of their newer content with like the Thanos, which I'm sure people know about. And if you don't, they basically put Thanos' glove in the game and had a special mode where if you got it, you turned into Thanos. And you got all these superpowers that you could run around with. But still, they're not environmental dangers. That's just a power up. This is the first one I've seen that does, yeah, like you said, surviving not only the other idiots running around with guns, but the wolves. Because the wolves are scary. If there's a
yeah,
pack of them chasing you in the wilderness, nobody wants to be in the middle of nowhere with a pack of wolves after you. That's not a good situation.
this could be pretty interesting. I've not been a fan of the battle royale style games just because I'm horrible at them, and it seems like everyone's trying to copy PUBG and Fortnite now. But adding these extra elements of trying to survive the environment as well as other players might change the style of gameplay a little bit. So, we'll see.
Yeah, that was the most interesting thing to me was it wasn't just trying to put out new weapons, crazy ideas. You know, it was innovative. Possibly, it's still early. We had, a year from now, it's an early access. You know how early access games goes. A year from now, it could be the same place it is now, and just stuck. So
Yeah, we'll see. I'll keep an eye on it. It looks good though.
all right, another one we had was Sony's Days Gone will be released on February 22nd, exclusively for PlayStation. This one is post-apocalyptic open world survival game, basically, where people go crazy, when there's limited resources. Well, I don't know if that would happen, but everything we see on TV and movies and games basically says this is what's going to happen. Yeah, humanity comes in question. It's based the game on that, because obviously people at this point had gone different ways. But it's set in the Pacific Northwest high desert, which was very particular. They wanted that because the high desert offers a large amount of varying environmental situations, from deserts to woodland, and even high deserts have snow and mountains. So it gives them a large breadth of environmental locations that they can put in the game by choosing that location. But from what I've heard and what I was looking at, it's basically got a lot of weapons, crafting, exploring. Like I said, it's just kind of an open world survival game, and where you can do stuff, and then it will, obviously lead to other things, and dealing with interactions with other human beings in that state and world.
Yeah, interesting. They're coming out with a lot of these open world survival type games. I feel like the market might be getting saturated with these,
To a degree. I when I remember looking at it, nothing popped out as me per se as unique. Like the one we just talked about had the environmental things. It was in the same niche that we've seen a lot of recently, and a lot of games are going that way. But this one really felt like it was fitting in a very particular category, like you said.
Yeah, we'll see. But
It's still early.
Yeah, still early. So, and it's coming out on PlayStation 4 at least, so that means that it won't just be sitting and go nowhere.
Yes, PS4 only at February next year, February 22nd, 2019. So that's still 8 months away.
Yeah, and visually it looks good. It looks like a decent game to play. So
it does. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
All right, next one that I think was pretty cool. It's called Strange Brigade. This one will be released August 28th, so pretty soon, on PS4, Xbox, and PC. This one is basically a third-person shooter. You can have 1 to 4 people, and it really just feels like you're in the original Mummy movie. You got undead coming at you. There's bosses. There's spike traps, bombs, explosives. Some of the mechanics of the game are you get to, as you kill things, you power yourself up and power an amulet that then lets you do particular magical powers that are all based. It's all Egyptian based. That's the whole theme throughout the game. And you roll with a squad of 1 to 4 people, and it's really a game built to where it's not like a straight shooter where you're kind of progressing through a level. Instead of, you kind of get to certain areas, and it's more like a battleground situation where there's some mummies and zombies and everything will be popping up from multiple directions. So it's not just a straightforward, you can keep everybody thing in front of you. You're really going to have to keep your head on a swivel, taking about behind you, in front of you, dealing with bosses. Traps can hurt your buddies too, so you don't want to shoot the little spinning blade trap when your buddy is right next to it, because it can hurt him and kill him. But it looked good.
Yeah, I like co-op. Should be pretty fun. They need some more good co-op games, I think.
Yeah, it looks like a really good co-op shooter game that you could play with your buddies and just have fun.
I wonder if you could play it split screen. I feel like that's the thing of the past. No one plays split screen anymore.
Because most of the time, we'll say local multiplayer is not. We've gone through this because every once in a while when we meet up in real life on the opposite coast thing, we like to play a co-op game. And our go-to has been Gears of War, because that's one of the few games that has kept local multiplayer. Otherwise, a lot of them, it's we got multiplayer, but it's only online. And it's Well,
Yeah.
I didn't want that. I just want to sit next to my buddy and play a game in real life on the
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah, that's right. We usually play Gears of War, or we go way old school on the PlayStation 2 and bring up the old Dark Alliance,
Yes,
Baldur's Gate games. Those are always fun. But yeah, it's like sometimes you just want to sit next to the same person and play. I guess you just need to get Nintendo for that because I'm pretty sure all their stuff's still split screen.
Yeah, yeah. But the rest of stuff, especially shooters, it's all gone towards the
Yeah.
online multiplayer.
I
Now
guess
that
you
one
just got
looked
to
good.
bring over. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Give it a shot.
The last one I had before we got to EA was a game called Twin Mirror. This was done by Bandai. I never had to say that word.
Bandai?
Bandai Namco, and Don't Nod Entertainment. It's supposed to come out 2019, PlayStation 4, PC, and Xbox. This one is interesting. This is a psychological thriller. These are some of the newer games that are coming out that I have a buddy that plays a lot of them and streams them, where it's it's not much a video game. It's more like you're playing a real life scenario that's not usually a good situation, and it really pushes people to the limits, and then it's how to deal with it. This one, yeah, psychological thriller. The basic storyline is he returns home, I believe, to a small town in West Virginia because the death of his best friend. So he's there to do a funeral. He had recently had a very big breakup with a significant other. And while dealing with it, so he's got hit with two things at the same time when he gets home. He's back in his hometown. He just lost his significant other. His best friend's dead. Life is not good for him in this situation. And he wakes up the next day after dealing with this, and he has no memory of the night before. And he finds his shirt covered in blood. So that's how the game kind of starts, and he has to kind of investigate what happened and try and recall memories and figure out what goes on. And so he's in a really bad place, and then this happens, and then it's basically a story of him investigating and interacting with people and keeping you on your toes and just yeah.
I don't know. Not my type of game.
Not so much mine, but I like the concept.
Yeah. I have a very short attention span, so it looks like it might be a little slower paced.
Yes,
but if you like that thing,
it's
sure.
very story. You're playing a story basically where you're in control. And I like these games that have come out. They may not be big money winners, but it's kind of like a good book, except it's a video game now, and you're in control of the main character.
Yeah, actually, I kind of take that back because I played the Telltale Games Walking Dead series from Steam, and that was a slower paced storyline you were kind of walking through, and I really enjoyed those. So I think it depends on the story. If it's a good story and it captures your attention, then it could be good.
I think the last one of that series is coming out soon. Actually, the final Telltale Walking Dead.
Oh, are they going to end it finally? It's only got about 50 seasons.
Yeah, no, I remember looking at that. I think they announced that they're going to do the final episode this year sometime. I forget the date, but yes.
Yeah. Interesting. I got to go back and start playing them again. I haven't played them in a while.
Well, it was just a few random games that were talked about around the time of E3, somewhere at E3, but they were all neat games.
Yes. Now the big hitters, right?
Yeah, we'll go to EA. We'll start with them.
EA. Yeah, what do they got?
The first thing they came out was they completely redid the Origins program, and it now has no bugs and works completely flawlessly.
Right. Well, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah. Well, it's not April Fool's, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, so wait.
No, they did not. They did not do anything. It's still the same wonderful program that we all have come to know and love. Oh, sorry, that was a bad joke on my part.
Yeah, I got excited. That guy was almost about ready to open Origin and see if there was an update. I was like, wait, what?
It probably would have, and it would have taken, it would have bugged out halfway through the download. And then he would have been like, he lied to me.
Yeah. Damn you.
Sorry. I had to sneak that one in there. I had been talking to a couple other buddies about some of the stuff at E3 came out, and I'm like, wow, this game looks great. And they're like, wow, I'll get that with you. That sounds fun. I'm like, it's on Origin. And they're like, I'm sorry. That was a deal breaker, which is sad but
Yeah.
it's a frustrating program for
I don't know.
anybody
It's
who uses it. Sometimes it works
yeah,
perfectly, but there's problems that occur.
yeah. I use it. I mean, it works okay. I'll just say that. Sometimes
Yeah.
it lags a bit. For the most part, it works.
All right, sorry about the sidetrack.
Yeah.
We'll start with their big one coming out later this year is Battlefield 5.
Battlefield 5.
And I'm pretty sure you're pretty psyched for this.
Uh,
Have thoughts
maybe.
about this?
This is the World War II, right?
Yes, this is the World War II one.
Yes.
Something just wait. World War II, they're trying to not do like Normandy. They're definitely trying to do new locations in the war. They don't want to do stuff that's been done over and over again. But it's still your Battlefield game, and it's World War II's the setting. Some of the newer features they're adding is at objective points, you're going to be able to construct and rebuild fortifications, like sandbag off an area, put up a machine gun nest, things like that to help basically fortify your objective points. Some of the other gameplay things that changed before, medics were the only ones that could revive teammates. Now all your squad members can, not just the medics.
Yeah, I heard about this. So it just takes longer if you're not a medic, right?
Yes,
To
but
revive somebody. Yeah.
yes. Also, characters will not start off with all their ammo and explosives. They will actually start off with less, and they have to either find a supply guy or a supply depot to maximize their ammo if they want before heading out.
Hmm.
Stationary guns can now be towed by vehicles, so you can move them around. You can fire them while in a vehicle.
So wait, you can or you can't?
You can now. You can take stationary guns with vehicles.
So you can tow like a giant like howitzer and
If
firing
potentially,
it
yeah,
as.
you can go to a new point, set up fortifications, drop your gun off, and you've established a better defensive perimeter.
Wait, can you fire it while you're driving around?
Apparently, yes, you can fire while being towed.
Okay, this should be interesting.
Yeah, so there may be some interesting combinations where people just get on vehicles, throw a gun in the back, and they go, "Let's go, buddy! Let's just destroy as much stuff as we can."
Yeah, I just imagine like two Jeep Willies like driving around with a giant howitzer or something on the back of it, firing at each other. I mean, it's as ridiculous as that sounds. Like,
It's
it's probably
that's
not like that, but
it could though. That's where you're playing the game and you're like, "Are they doing what I think they're doing?" Yes, they are. What was some of the other things? You could go prone on your back, which is interesting. So yeah, you can go
so
prone, and then you're literally lying on your back instead of your stomach. So you'll be looking
so you're
upward.
looking straight up. Why would you want to do that?
You want to get low and shoot up at like a passing helicopter.
Plane? I don't know. They didn't have helicopters.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure either. It was just a very interesting thing, and I was like, I gotta mention it. I was like, I'm sure there's
Yeah,
a
there's
reasoning
probably a
behind it.
reason. Yeah, that's interesting.
I haven't played many of the Battlefield games, but so that was added. You can drag teammates behind cover, which was not a thing before. So if you got a buddy down before you revive them, you could drag them back behind the sandbags because he was just a stupid idiot, ran out there in the first place, and now you got to go save him.
I wonder if you could use them as like a bullet shield. Like just like pick them up and use them as like armor, as like body armor as you run across the battlefield.
I don't think you're doing a fireman's carry. I think you're like grabbing the top of his shoulders and pulling that way. I don't think you're draping him over your shoulder like body armor. Right. Sorry, buddy, I'm not going to revive you. I'm just going to use you as armor so you can take a couple shots.
So it's a slow maneuver. It's not something you can do quickly.
Yes. Just run out there, pick him up, just run around the battle until he gets shot and grab your neck's down, buddy, and keep going. No.
Anyway.
A couple other things. They have a 64-player grand operation mode, which is going to be a 3 to 4 match narrative over across multiple modes. So it's going to be a long game where you'll do a narrative. Not necessarily the same game mode each time, but it'll be a neat thing. And then single player and multiplayer will be available at launch, but Battle Royale, they are adding it just like everybody else, but it will not be available at launch. It'll come out later.
Battle Royale. Everyone has to get their toes wet in this Battle Royale thing. I mean, I guess people are playing it, right? So
yeah.
It works. I don't know. I like it gives me too much anxiety when I play these games, these battle royale games. I just want to hide in a closet the whole time.
I find them much funner with friends if you have
Yeah,
people, because a lot of the solo ones that I played Fortnite, I have not played PUBG. But you run it like the solo mid games I've played, you just run into random people hiding somewhere in a corner. It's like, oh,
yeah,
really? It's
yeah.
just
PUBG's the
frustrating.
same way.
But with the squad, at least you can have fun. You can save your buddies, or your buddy runs off like an idiot, and you get to yell at him. It's like, what are you doing
Yeah,
over there? It was like I was investigating this house because I didn't have a shotgun, and you're like that. We just told you there was 20 guys over there. I just need a shotgun, you know.
that'd be me.
Well, that's part of the fun. That's where I have
Yeah,
more fun in those games, playing with people and you doing
yeah.
your
I think
squad.
it's definitely a better experience, at least for me. That way, what somebody else can revive me when I die,
Do the hard
because it'll
carry, you
happen.
kill all the guys, keep you alive. Just come out,
Yeah,
man. I'll
exactly.
drop you ammo in a little while just so you feel like you're helping.
Yeah, I'll just be the guy that runs out and just draws all the fire, so you know where they're shooting
Distraction.
at me from. Yeah, that's me.
Nice.
But yeah, so that looks interesting. I don't know. I played Battlefield 1 a little bit. It was okay. I couldn't get into it for some reason. I don't maybe I just need a better PC to play it on or something.
I've never
Uh,
not played any of the Battlefields, but I got a buddy of mine who's really excited for it, and there's a good chance I'll get it because he's been pushing me. Uh, you gotta play it. You gotta play it. You gotta play it. And
yeah,
so
I mean, it looks good. I mean, I just feel like the World War II genre has been overdone, but it sounds like they're trying to do different parts of that war. So,
yeah, personally, I haven't I did Dave Defeat with you, which uh,
oh yeah,
but see, I played almost no Call of Duties, none of the Battlefield, so I haven't done. Like you say, maybe there are a lot of games out there with the World War II or the war scenarios. I just haven't played them. I went more with the Warframe, Team Fortress, the Overwatch. So we'll see. But there's a good
yeah.
chance I'll be giving that one a try.
If you get it, I might pick it up. That way we can you can carry me through the game.
All right, man. I'm gonna have to write my congressman and make sure they added fireman carry to dragging. So if I'm gonna revive you, I'm gonna want some protection for myself.
Why would you write your congressman? I don't know where you're going with this.
Because congressmen can solve all your problems. All you have to do is just write them.
Okay,
Uh,
I'll take your word for it.
all right. Is there anything more you guys say about Battlefield before we hop to the next couple?
No, I think that's about it.
All right.
Well,
Next one. We had FIFA
yes, FIFA.
2019. Um, Not a lot to say. They did get the UEFA license, which means all the teams from the Europa League and the Champions League will have the correct player names and all that fun stuff, which these games
That's cool.
can't always get, you know. But it's nice to get that, and that will come out September 28th. PS4, the Xbox, the Switch, and the PC.
Yeah, I feel like they missed a giant opportunity here. So as everyone, you might or might not know, the World Cup is going on right now, and they just at EA or E3 they released FIFA 2019, but it was a bit underwhelming. I feel like they could have had like at least to promote this game, they could have put on like maybe like some competition or something. It was just it felt underwhelming to me. And FIFA games, I've always played them. We played them back, PlayStation 2
Yeah.
a long time ago, like what, high school days, before high school. I don't know.
Well,
Um,
soccer in America took a hit general with us not making the World Cup on the men's side.
yeah, I think that might have played a key. I mean, E3 is kind of a worldwide conference, but it's hosted in the US, so maybe that's what it was. I don't know. I hope it's a good game because I always enjoyed playing. I'm not a
I
big
like.
sports game person, but FIFA's always been pretty fun to play. So
I've done some Maddens. I never did really the basketball or the baseball, but always the FIFAs. I always found them enjoyable. Um, but yeah, it was kind of really lackluster because we lost the world. We're not in the World Cup. I feel
yeah,
harder to drum up excitement when
yeah,
we're not in it this year.
yeah. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. Hopefully, it's good. Star Wars.
Star Wars. What's this one
Yes.
called?
Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. New Star Wars game, right?
Yeah, what isn't it to get excited about?
Star Wars is awesome. So let me just go ahead and full disclaimer: Star Wars is probably the greatest thing that's ever happened. So I may be a small bit biased when we talk about this game.
Small?
Yeah, just a small bit.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Well, there isn't actually much known. It wasn't even actually presented at E3. They kind of just had like the lead guy working in the game studio. I forget what the game studio was, in like the crowd, and like all of a sudden they just kind of panned to him. And was like, "Oh, well, here's a couple things," you know. But what is known is going to be a third-person action adventure game. It's rumored to have heavy multiplayer stuff, but that's just rumored. Nothing's confirmed. And the only other thing really known as a timeline for this game is somewhere between Episode 3 and 4, when Darth Vader was hunting down the last of the Jedi. So
that could be cool if we could play like some of Darth Vader's like slaying of Jedi. It could be very interesting.
Maybe set up more on the part where you're the good guy as the Padawans that have escaped the Jedi Temple. But like,
yeah, I think you're right. I think you play actually as a Padawan who escaped Order 66. I think that's what I heard.
Well, yeah, because otherwise, Order 66 was to kill all the Jedi. So if it was successful,
right?
So yeah,
I could be wrong. But yeah, it doesn't look like there's much known right now. No release date or anything. So I'm super excited about it because we need a really good Star Wars game.
I feel like that's why they have to be careful and not say stuff because of these fanatical fans that are out there. I don't know any of them per se. But yes.
Yeah. I mean, I played The Force Unleashed, and those were okay. I enjoyed them because they were Star Wars, but I feel like we were in the need of a good Star Wars game.
So if it wasn't a Star Wars game, would you have enjoyed it as much?
No. Well, maybe. I don't know. You can't really play The Force Unleashed like and pretend it's not a Star Wars game. I don't know.
True. Yeah. You get where I'm coming from.
Yeah. It's Respawn Entertainment. That was the name of the company, by the way. But yeah, it's not a big reveal. Just kind of a 2-second thing. It sounded like.
All right, next, one I'm kind of more excited for than Battlefield. It's more of my type of shooter. Is BioWare Anthem. It's not going to be out till next year, February 22nd. But basically, it's how would I describe it? It's another kind of open world. If you ever played Firefall, that's a good example. It's kind of the third-person shooter view with first-person as well. But it's you basically 4-man squads. Right now, they're in kind of like a mech suit, but not as big as a mech. More of just like a fancy combat suit with jump jets. And there's 4
it looks almost like a hard shelled spacesuit.
Yeah, very Destiny like the game.
Yes,
that's a good comparison. This was only going to have 4 classes at release, but they're planning on adding more. There's going to be a main quest hub in the open world. Apparently, there's going to be a Strider of some sort, which is going to act as a forward operating base that is going to move, depending on what's going on in your game. There are random world events, like giant monsters that you could run into while going to your mission, which you don't have to fight because obviously sometimes they may be way more powerful than your level can keep up with. But it's going to have your RPG elements. We're leveling up weapons. I'm assuming upgrading your javelin. They'd have come out and said there will be microtransactions, but they will be only cosmetic.
Boo.
What, you want microtransactions to not be cosmetic only?
I don't want any microtransactions. Just give me the game.
I'm okay with it if it's cosmetic.
Yeah, as long as it's just cosmetic. I guess that's okay.
But yeah, they did come out and they did say there is no romances in the game. But my twist on it was there's no romances, just bromances, because they did say they wanted to focus more on the individual friendships. Kind of like in Mass Effect 3 when you had moments with some of the other characters that you weren't romantically involved with. and they like that. That's what they want more of, away from the romance. So there's none of that in this game. It looks really good to me. It has in the video demo trailer that I was watching and described to by one of the lead developers, is it has Mass Effect like combos. If you've played any of the Mass Effect games, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, it's basically you would have powers that would prime the target, and then you had powers that would ignite the primer. The one they showed was the one javelin threw a frost grenade into the midst of enemies, which froze them all. And then another guy used like a mortar attack to rain missiles on them, and it does combo damage. In Mass Effect, it would, like, if you had the primer, then you hit it with another exploder, it would cause an additional exploding damage on top of your power's normal abilities. So you could combo and do large amounts of damage, and it was always a good strat. And I always enjoyed that system, and it looks like they're trying to put that in this. That's one of the reasons I am more excited about this one, because I was not very happy with Mass Effect 3 Andromeda.
Yeah, it didn't have the greatest ending.
No, that was Mass Effect 3. Mass Effect Andromeda was one that came out after that had the facial feature problem.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, that one, I was very excited for it, and it was it let me down a little bit. So the end of Mass Effect 3, of course, let me down. And I even played it way past where they had apparently improved the ending, and I was still sitting there going like, huh?
Yeah. So this feels like it could be similar, like very similar to Destiny.
Yes, it does have a very similar feel to Destiny. It's just it's done by BioWare, and it's just, how are they going to deliver? Like, I've tried playing Destiny, and it never grabbed me. I have played a lot of hours of Warframe, but this has a much more Mass Effect feel to me, with kind of the Destiny type of world and quest system, which kind of excites me more.
Yeah, that looks interesting. We'll see how it does.
Yeah, this is the first kind of stuff we're getting on it, and we still have all the way to February 22nd. But yeah, it looks good.
What's it? It's coming out on what, PC, Xbox, PlayStation 4?
Yes,
which one? All of them?
Yeah, should be your PC, your Xbox, everything but the Switch probably.
Yeah, even though I think the Switch is picking up a lot of titles now.
Yeah, anyway. But I don't know how many shooters.
Yeah, they just got Fortnite. We'll talk about that later.
It did. Everybody's gonna get Fortnite. Got a couple others to mention here. Sea of Solitude. This one kind of creeped me out when I watched the trailer. It's got a very unique art style. The music, it's almost kind of looks childish in the drawing and the artwork, but it's not, kind of cartoony, but it gives you a lighter feeling, like, oh, this is kind of nice. And it's a game about this girl who gets transformed by loneliness into a monster, and she's trying to basically fix herself. So as she's exploring the world and trying to figure out what happened and how to reverse it, there's definitely evil creatures lurking in your nice, neat, relaxing environment that are there to yeah, they scared me. I'm not gonna lie. I was scared. Yeah. A couple times I was like,
it looks very visually stunning. I mean, it's I don't want to say cel shaded. It's a little bit different than that, but it's almost happy. But it has two layers. Like, it looks exciting and happy, and then it's kind of evil and foreboding.
Yeah.
So it should be actually really cool. I hope the game mechanics are good.
Yeah, I don't know much about that, but if you have a chance to watch a trailer, I do recommend it, just for a watch, because I think you'll see what I'm saying when you watch it. But it has a good possibility. It's another one of the games now that are not necessarily you're playing a story.
Yeah.
And I like this.
Is it almost like a platformer? I mean, I can't really tell.
From what I saw, it looked like it was going to be kind of like a 3D platformer type situation.
Yeah.
That you're exploring the world, and then obviously the dangers are, I guess it's kind of like a metaphor of like your loneliness is overcoming you, except it's very physical representation in the game, and it's not a pleasant one.
Yeah, I'm glad it's something different than battle royale and first person shooter. So
Yeah, no, I like the avenue that has, especially on a lot of Steam. I know a lot of Steam games with games that have been developing these type of games. I think it's really cool because it's like, well, you're just playing video games all day, and it's like, well, these video games now have like real content in them, like real things that pertain to the real world. Like she turns into a monster because she's lonely, and I mean, like, same thing with kids today. I mean, if you have a kid that literally has no friends, it is not going to grow up to potentially be a good outgoing person or contributing to society or whatever you want to call it. I'm ranting. I'm sorry. I'll stop.
yeah, I don't know where you're going with this, man.
Shut up. Yeah. Yeah. Onward.
Yeah, but yes, it looks very interesting. Go check it out.
Couple last ones from EA. Ghost Giant was announced. This is a lighthearted one, a VR experience. It's a puzzle story game. Again, it's a lonely child, and you're basically a ghost giant that kind of help him throughout his day. That was.
Did it say what is it PSVR only, or is it going to be Oculus and
I
Rift?
believe
Did it
all
say?
VR. I do not
Yeah.
think it's PlayStation only.
Okay.
Another one
It
was.
looks like it might just be PlayStation VR.
Could be. I don't remember.
I'm not 100% so. Don't hold us accountable. It might just be PlayStation VR. I don't know yet.
Well, it's not
But
out
I'm
yet,
all for
so.
VR titles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, more VR titles, please.
All right. Well, next we have not a VR title, but it's called Unravel 2. It is a platformer, 1 to 2 players. It really looks adorable. I'm not gonna lie. You play 2 yarn-like creatures that are literally each of them have one of their yarns connected to the other one. And
So it's like Cat Dog.
yes.
No, you remember that show? Anyway,
No.
sorry. Keep going.
But basically, like, you can, like, if the one guy jumps and he makes it and the other one doesn't necessarily make it, your teammate can grab the yarn and help pull your buddy up. And the whole game is based on the mechanics of you guys working together to solve problems. Like, one guy jumps off like the cliff. Before he lands, though, your buddy holds onto your string, so you swing off to the edge, land, and then there's like a little yarn thing where you hook up to, jump across because he swings you across. You hook up there, and then your buddy can jump down and land on the new bridge you just created.
Huh.
Yeah,
That's cool. I like that concept of like almost a 2-player puzzle kind of.
it is. It's there's certain situations where I think you'll run into where you do need to do those mechanics, but you can play 1 player. It just looked like a really nice game. Nothing
Yeah, the
fancy.
characters they're really cool looking. They're like you said, balls of yarn, but they kind of have like these pointy. I don't know. The head looks. I don't know. They're cool. Go check it out. I mean, just Google it.
Yeah,
It's hard to describe.
yeah. It's a
But they're
yarn
pretty neat
creature.
looking.
Like, first time I heard it, I was like, "What is that?" Oh, it's a creature made out of yarn. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, and he's got little eyeballs, and there's like a knot tying them together. Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
And I'm glad there's still platformers out there. I always like that. And
Yeah.
because I know there was when 3D stuff started coming out, like all the games, growing up transitioned to 3D, and it was like, but I like those old platformers, like
No.
Castlevania Symphony of Night was one of my favorite games.
Yeah, I mean, I always enjoy the platformers for if I just want to get like a quick 30-minute gaming session in or something, or an hour long. You don't have to be too involved in the game to actually enjoy it quickly.
Yes.
So.
All right, continuing onward, of course, for you, we have Star Wars Battlefield updates. They're going to be adding Clone Wars as a game mode, and they're going to be adding Count Dooku, Obi-Wan, Anakin, and General Grievous as playable characters.
General Grievous should be interesting. If you could use like all 4 lightsabers at the same time, that sounds pretty crazy. So I actually like this game. I know a lot of people don't, and it was shrouded in controversy when it came out because of microtransactions and all this stuff. But it's actually kind of a decent game, I think. I suck at playing it, but I still enjoy playing it. So I don't know. It's good. More people should play it.
All right, and then the last couple things are just little tidbits. NBA Live's coming out. 2019 will be launched in September 7th. Plants vs. Zombies 2 Garden Warfare will have more content updates. I believe some have already been released. Madden 2019 will launch August 10th. Command and Conquer Rivals was announced for the mobile. If that's your type of game, it's RTS. You can pre-register for it now, and I'm sure people are going to be excited. Beat Saber is coming to the PlayStation VR.
Yeah, Beat Saber. Have you actually seen these
Yes.
these videos?
Yes, actually.
Oh, they're cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I was like, I kind of want to get a VR. It's like Guitar Hero, but I get lightsabers.
Yeah. Exactly. Like if they could find a way to put this on Oculus Go, that would be amazing. I don't think it will happen because the Oculus Go is only 3 degrees of freedom and they don't have hand tracking, but I don't know. One can hope. Maybe the next gen standalone headsets, they'll have it on there.
We'll see.
But so, yeah, I didn't realize they were still making Plants vs. Zombies to backtrack a little bit.
That
Plants
is
vs. Zombies.
the third-person shooter version. I don't know if you've played that or heard of that.
Yeah, I have. I played it on, I think it was on Origins. It was on Origins. I played it for a bit.
This was the second one, I believe, came out sometime last year, or is it 2 years now?
Yeah. I don't remember.
A good little game. I liked it. I didn't play the second one.
It was pretty fun.
I played the first one a good bit. Not so much the second one. I didn't want to spend, I think, $60 when it came out, or whatever the full price was. I didn't, but still a good game. And it's nice that they're still putting content out for the people who are playing it. Because even before the second one came out, there was still plenty of people playing the first one when we hop on. So there was still definitely a player base there.
Yeah, maybe I'll go back to it. It was a lighthearted shooter game, so
yeah, it was fun.
Sometimes it's good just to sit back and relax and have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, and the last thing we had for EA was they have announced a Premier deal for $99 for a year. It's going to be available this summer. Basically, you get Battlefield 5, FIFA 2019, and Anthem when they come out. I don't know if there's going to be additionals, but the initial deal was $100. You get Battlefield 5, FIFA, and Anthem. So we'll see.
Really, and Origin access for $99?
Well, everybody has access to Origin.
No, Origin Premier. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's actually kind of a good deal for all those games.
Yeah, look at it, especially I was just thinking of getting Battlefield 5 and Anthem, which both may be $50.
Yeah, $50 or $60.
Doing $99 a year, I get FIFA thrown in, and who knows, maybe they'll sweeten the deal when it comes out this summer. So yes,
and you get Premier access, correct?
Yes, I'm not sure.
So
does Origin have Premier access?
Well, so I'm not sure what this means, but I know they have a Premier service where you can pay monthly, and then you get access to all these games you can play for free. So you can play like Battlefront 1. There's a couple other big names on there.
I'm not sure though. I'd have to look it up. I just thought it was an actual deal for those 3 games. But no, what you're saying makes sense because it says for 1 year. So you would then have access to, like you said, the free games basically for that.
Yeah, I wonder if you lose access to those 3 games after if you cancel your subscription.
That would, I'm looking.
I don't know.
Well, there is an Origin Access Premier unlock over 100 PC games.
I could be completely off about this, but I know they have a subscription base. I don't know if it's called Premiers because I had it for a little while and it was actually pretty good. It was a couple bucks a month and you could get access to all these games. But the problem is when you don't pay for it anymore and you cancel it, you lose all those games. But then you really never played for them anyway. So yeah, I don't know.
No, it looks like you would have to keep paying for the Premier to keep the games.
So essentially, you get
they're saying that these are going into the Premier list. All 3 of those new games that are coming out. So if you wanted if you wanted to play them in that package, it's in that package. They're saying.
Yeah, I gotcha. So that's actually not too bad. You could pay your whatever. I think you actually have the option to do it monthly, and you could try them out. If you didn't like them, then you could just not play them anymore, and then cancel your Premier membership, and then you didn't spend $60 on a game.
True.
So I might actually do that just to try them out and see if I like them before. I could cancel the Premier and then actually buy the game so I own it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We'll see when that comes out this summer. What's going on with that? Because they may say, if you do this deal, then we will give you these games permanently, and then I'd be much more for it. Like you just said.
Oh yeah, I would. I'd be down for that in a heartbeat for three full games for $100 is a deal. But so that's about all of E3 or EA, right?
Yeah, that's about all I remember from EA going on.
I think we've been at it for about an hour now, so I think we might cut it here.
Save Microsoft for the next one.
Yeah, and continue our coverage in the next episode. So we got a couple more tech stories, and then we'll jump into Microsoft's EA keynote, and then I think we got Bethesda. We'll hit those guys too.
You just said Microsoft's
we've got time.
EA keynote. I believe you said Microsoft's E3.
Oh, I meant Microsoft's E3 keynote.
Yeah.
My bad. It's late. I'm tired.
Yeah, and I think we got Bethesda too coming after that, which
Yeah, there's some cool stuff, man. We'll talk about Cyberpunk 2077, which looks an awesome game. I'm super excited about The Last of Us 2. We'll talk about that. That's going to be awesome. There's some other big ones. Fallout's coming out.
Doom.
Yeah, Doom, Elder Scrolls. Bethesda has a lot of heavy hitters coming out, I think, that will be cool. So, but we'll cover that stuff next episode. So, in the meantime, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's listening. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, YouTube, at Tech Stuffing, Facebook, all the social media networks. Look us up. Until then, stay tuned for our next episode, hopefully coming out right after this one.
Woo!
All right. We'll see everybody later.
All right. See ya.
Outro music here. Yeah, it's the same as the intro music, all right? I haven't found any other music yet. Don't tell anybody.